come to a comfortable seated position. Cross your legs with your heels placed directly in front of each other. Place your left hand on top of your right hand and close your eyes. And we start to go inside. And we can't control what's happening on the outside at the moment. So we're going to go inside and try and find some peace inside. Start to become aware of your breath as it enters your nostrils and as it leaves your nostrils. Inhaling and exhaling. Two more following your breath as it enters your nostrils. And as it leaves your nostrils. Just try and hold your focus on your breath, inhaling. And exhaling. And on the next inhale, I want you to bring your shoulders up gently to meet your ears. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring them back and down. And again, inhaling, bringing your shoulders gently up to your ears. And as you exhale, bring your shoulders back and down. Last one, inhale. And as you exhale, bring your shoulders back and down and move the backs of your hands to your knees. Join your index finger and your thumb together. And Jhana Mudra. Creating a circuit of energy. So your energy doesn't dissipate through your hands but comes back into your body. And now begin to focus on where your body meets the floor. Your sit bones, your ankles. And take a deep breath in. And exhale into the ground, holding your focus on your sit bone and your tailbone. Inhale. And as you exhale, sink gently into the ground. One more breath here. Inhale. And holding your focus on your tailbone, sink in to the earth, and the earth will hold us safe, hold us secure. And imagine now there's a very long red pipe emanating from your tailbone and going straight down into the earth. It's very bright red, very straight. And it's continuing down, down, down through the earth, through all the layers of history and sediment, like an anchor, holding us firm and close to the ground, calming us, re-energizing us, anchoring us. And when this long red pipe has gone so far, it reaches the core of the earth, beautiful, warm, red, healing energy. Inhale and bring some of that energy up to your tailbone. Inhale. Imagine it flooding into your tailbone and exhale. Inhale, lovely red, warm, earthy energy. And now imagine that warm red energy is filling your hips. Lovely, warm, healing, grounding energy. Inhale, bring up that warm energy. And now imagine that lovely warm energy is pouring into your legs and feet, making them heavy and relaxed, calming you, holding you safe and firm. And now we're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4, lowering your chin to elongate the back of the neck. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Hold. And exhale. Lovely. Just let your breath fall back to its natural rhythm. And what we're doing with this pranayama is regulating and controlling and warming our breath. And this will calm our mind, and it will slow our heartbeat. It will help us to feel balanced and happy. Turn the corners of your mouth up in a tiny smile. And start to contract the back of your throat when you inhale through your nose. And this lengthens and warms the breath. Ujjayi breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And Ujjayi breath, it sounds a bit like the wind in the trees. Sounds a bit like the beginning of a snore. And this deepens, elongates the breath. It's sometimes called the psychic breath. And we can use Ujjayi breath, psychic breath, when we're practicing our yoga asanas. It helps us to stay in position. And it helps us when we find the poses challenging. Now place your left hand in your lap and bring your right hand up in front of your face. Place your index finger and middle finger on Ajna chakra, your brow chakra, your third eye, gently touching, activating your third eye, your center of intuition, and close your right nostril with your right thumb. Inhale and exhale 3 times through your left nostril, inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Last round. Inhale. Exhale. Release your right nostril and close your left nostril with your ring finger. Inhaling and exhaling 3 times through your right nostril. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Gently release your hand and let it relax in your lap on top of your left hand. Just become aware of any changes you may feel in your head and body. And you would have noticed that your breath has lengthened, and hopefully you'll feel a little calmer, a little more still. And with beginners Nadi Shodhana, ideally the breath should be noiseless, silent. But while we're beginning, we're just starting out. This is just a little taster. It doesn't matter if one nostril is more blocked than the other. We just continue to practice. And it can make you feel a little lightheaded, so just take it easy and do 3 at a time. And then if that feels good, by all means, go ahead, pause me and do more. Now, keeping your eyes closed, just take a moment to scan your body from the tip of your toes all the way up your legs to your hips, all the way up your body to your shoulders and neck, all the way down your arms to the tips of your fingers. And now all the way to the top of your head. Notice any sensations or pulsations. These are all messages telling us something. Notice any tightness, any discomfort, any pain. And now breathe in beautiful healing light. And exhale any tension. Focus on any point of stiffness. And inhale healing light. And exhale any remaining tension. One more, focusing on any stiffness. Inhale. And exhale. And keeping the eyes closed, inhale and lift your arms above your head. Interlace your fingers and press your palms up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, lower your shoulders, keeping your arms straight. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower your shoulders. One more, inhale, reach up. And exhale, lower your shoulders. Lovely. One more, reach all the way up. And exhale, lowering your shoulders, and then release your fingers and bring your hands down to the earth and plant them on lovely, firm ground, feeling any remaining tension pour into the ground to be transformed into positive energy. Once more, inhaling, lifting your arms above your head. Keeping your eyes closed and join your hands together in prayer pose. Bend the elbows and reach behind you. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, opening the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bring the arms up in front of you. And down to the forehead, exhaling, touching the forehead with your thumbs. And then down to the chest, Anjali Mudra, pressing your thumbs into your sternum, elbows up. Inhale, lift your pelvic floor, press your hands together. Keeping your pelvic floor raised, exhale. 2 more breaths here, inhale. Keep your pelvic floor raised, exhale. 1 more breath, inhale. And as you exhale, let your pelvic floor relax. Joy. And melt down into the floor. And now, create a little gap in between your hands. And with your thoughts, your thought power, place a wish or dedication inside your hands. Bring it into your heart. It's your heart's desire. Whatever you need right now, could be for someone else you're worried about, could be for a collective group, could be for yourself. Plant that wish inside your hands and bring it into your heart. This is your Sankalpa. Good. And then slowly opening your eyes just a little. We're going to remove any cushion that you might have been using to support yourself. And very lovingly, we're going to uncurl our legs and rub our quads and our hamstrings, our shins and our calves, and our feet. Rubbing any tension, maybe our hips, if that's where you hold your tension. Both legs. Rubbing our quads and our hamstrings, our shins and our calves. Our calves don't get much attention. Give them a good massage. Our feet Lovely. And now we're going to roll onto our backs, holding the back of our thighs, gently just massaging our spine, coming back up to sitting. Just do this a few times. Massage your spine, calming up to sitting. Beautiful. Couple more times. Inhaling back. Exhaling forwards. Inhaling back. Exhaling forwards, warming up the spine. One more. Inhale back. Good. And exhale forwards. And now we're going to take our left leg and place it bent underneath our right. And pick up our right leg. In the crook of our arm, place your hands together in Anjali Mudra and gently rock your leg as if it was a baby. Be very gentle, just opening up the hip. And then when you have opened up the hip a little, turn your foot in lovely circles. 3 times to the right, 3 times to the left. Lovely. Another little rock. And gently take that foot, place it onto the floor. Pick up your left leg and pop it in the crook of your arm. Place your hands together in Anjali Mudra and give this leg a little rock, lovingly. They support us all day long, our legs and feet. And they deserve some love. So we open up our hip and then gently just see if you can circle your foot. Feels a little bit funny, like you're a ventriloquist, like it's not your foot. Just circle 3 times to the left, 3 times to the right, and then carefully and gently place your foot back down onto the floor. And now, rubbing your hands together, creating some warmth between your palms. Lovely healing energy. And we're going to close our eyes and place the palms of our hands over our eyes and inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more breath. And exhale. And then remove your hands away from your eyes. And hopefully that will have felt beautiful and warm and healing. It's called palming. And that warmth from your palm of your hands would have gone directly into your eyes and helped relax and heal your eyes or any problems that you might have with your sight. And now we're ready to come to the front of our mat and start our asana. So, coming to the front of your mat, hands on your hips, putting your weight into your left leg and gently massaging the ball of the right foot into the floor and then turning the foot over and stretching out the ankle. Feels a little strange. Just bend the left knee and then changing sides. Put your weight into your right leg. Massage the ball of the left foot and then gently stretch the front of the left foot. Walking out the feet. And then inhaling, lifting your arms all the way up and round. Exhale, bring them down, huge big circles. Inhale. Exhale, take them behind you, wide, big, full moons. 1 more, inhale. biggest circle you can. Inhale. And gently exhale. Beautiful. Bringing your arms up in front of you. And we're going to do hip stretches from here. So we're going to inhale. Exhale, squat. Inhale, rise. Exhale, squat. Inhale, rise. Exhale, squat. Inhale, rise. And bringing the right arm up into the air. Take your left arm down and create 2 big alternate circles. And once you've got the hang of it, go with it, moving your rib cage. It feels very strange. It's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy. And bring your hands up again. And try and go the other way. See if you can create 2 big circles going in opposite directions. And shaking out the arms as if they were big elephant trunks, bending the knees, shaking out any tension. And then hands on hips, grounding down into the left foot. We're going to pick up our right foot. You can hold the knee, or you can hold the toe. You can bring the knee into the chest, or you can straighten the leg. Exhale. 3 breaths here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale down through your standing leg. If you feel stable, inhale, take your leg to the side. And carefully back to the front. And keep it raised, hands on hips. Inhale. And let your leg go back to the floor. Walk out any tension in your hips. Warming up our legs. Grounding down through the right foot. We're going to pick up our left knee, bring it into your chest, or you can hold onto your toe. And inhale. And exhale 3 times. Inhale. If you feel stable, bring your leg to the side. Back into the center. Keeping your leg raised, hands onto the hips. 1 more breath here. And then lower your leg and walk out any tension. Wonderful. Feet together for Tadasana. Hands by your sides. Inhaling, lifting your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, bring your shoulders back and down and let your middle finger point towards the ground. Good. Lifting up your toes, fanning them out, and then pressing them into the floor as if you were a frog suctioned onto a rock. Bend your knees slightly and get that grounded feeling, and then lift up your thighs. Inhale. Lift up your pelvic floor. Pull in your abdomen, keep your pelvic floor raised. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift your shoulders. And exhale, point your middle finger down to the floor, arms straight, hands like blades. Pelvic floor is raised, chin is down. 2 more breaths. Gently let go. Bend your knees. Shake your arms like big, long elephant trunks. Ganesha. The elephant god. Coming up to Tadasana. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bend at the waist and float gently down to the floor. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips with a flat back, and exhale, chest to thighs. Inhale. Onto the fingertips with a flat back and exhale. Chest to thighs. Inhale. Flat back and exhale. Good. Placing your hands firmly into the floor. Pick up your right foot. Take it all the way to the back of the mat. High lunge. And we're going to come onto the fingertips of our hands just for support. Make sure your knee is over your heel. And inhale, lift the hips. And exhale, sink down into the floor. If this feels too much, just pop your back knee down. Inhale. Exhale, stretching. Inhale. Exhale. Lovely. Plant your hands firmly into the ground and flex your left foot if you can. Bending over it, bringing your chest to your thigh. And then pick it up and take it to the back of the mat. Come to Plankasana. Your bottom should not be in the air. And then slowly, pulling in your abs, lifting your pelvic floor, you're going to bend your elbows, keeping them next to your sides. Very, very slowly, lower yourself down, all the way to the floor, as slowly as you possibly can. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, inhale, lift the hands, press your pubic bone down into the floor. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, and then make a little pillow and put your head on the pillow and rock your hips from side to side. Have a little rest and melt down into the mat. And then come up onto your forearms. Make sure your elbows are parallel. And your middle finger is pointing forward. Inhale. And exhale, slowly letting your ribs lower down towards your mat. Inhale. And exhale, lowering yourself gently down, middle back stretch. Be very careful here. Inhale. And exhale. And with that exhale, follow the movement all the way down. Make yourself a pillow and change the direction that you place your head on your pillow and completely relax into the floor, melting and grounding. Placing your hands under your shoulders. Inhale. Straighten your arms just as much as you like. And exhale. Fluid cobra floating forward. Inhale. And exhale. Floating forwards. Inhale. And then lift your hips and come into cat. Come onto all fours. Place your hands directly under your shoulders. And your hips are directly over your knees. Inhale, arch your spine. Tucking your chin, spine to the ceiling, and exhale. Carefully look all the way up. Let your tummy fall towards the floor. Inhale. Bring your tummy up to your spine and your spine up to the ceiling. Tuck in your chin. Exhale. Let your tummy drop all the way to the floor. Really enjoy it, like a cat does. Inhale. And exhale, letting your tummy carefully relax down to the floor. Look all the way up. Come back to flat back. Inhale. Bring your right knee into your chest. And exhale it behind you, raising your head. Inhale. And exhale it behind you, lifting your head. One more, inhale. And exhale. Good. And then inhaling in, And take the knee to the side for 3 breaths. Inhale. And lowering the knee back down. And we're going to do the same on the left side. Inhale, bringing the knee in. Arching the back. And then exhaling, lifting the leg, lifting the head. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale. And exhale. Your left knee to the side. 3 breaths here. And lower that knee down. And carefully pop your bottom onto your heels and stretch forward. Active child's pose, and let your forehead rest onto the mat. Take at least 3 breaths here. And then lifting the hips, coming back to all fours, curling under the toes. Inhale. Exhale, lift the hips, push the heels back down. We're in downward facing dog. Adjust your dog. Your head needs to be relaxed. Your heels are pushing down towards the mat and your hips are pressing backwards. Inhale, round the spine. And exhale, push your hips back. Inhale. Exhale, push your hips back. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. And then pick up your right foot and step to the front of the mat, placing the right foot in between your hands. And we've got lunge on the other side, using your fingers to support you. Inhale, lift your hips. And exhale, let your hips slowly move towards the floor. Inhale. And exhale, letting your hips melt down. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. And then pressing your hands into the ground, see if you can flex your foot, straighten your right leg, and lower your chest to your thigh. Good. Picking up your right foot, taking it to the back of the mat. Here we are in Plankasana. Lowering very slowly again. We are keeping our elbows near our sides. They're not sticking out. And we're slowly lowering ourselves all the way to the floor. No cheating. When we get to the floor, put your head onto the floor, hands by your sides, and really relax into the ground. Rocking your hips from side to side. Imagining any tension just releasing out of your spine. And then hands directly under the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale, fluid cobra, warming up the spine. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And this time lift up your hips too. Curling under your toes, and on the exhale, straighten your legs, downward facing dog. And move your hips from side to side. Warming up your hamstrings. Walk out your dog, lifting 1 foot at a time. And then when you're ready, look in between your hands, bend your knees and inhale. And step or jump to the front of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms all the way up. And hands to heart. Remember your Sankalpa. Going into sun salutation 1. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold at the waist, gracefully, folding all the way down. Inhale, fingertips. Hands flat onto the floor, bending the knees, jump back to plank, and exhale, either to the floor or knees, chest, chin. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Looking in between your hands, bend your knees. Inhale. Step or jump to the front of your mat. Come onto your fingertips. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale. Hands to chest. Bowing your head and remembering your sankalpa. Moving in to sun salutation 2, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, brush the floor with your hands. Bring your arms up behind you, bending your knees, and sit down into your chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, tucking your pelvis in. Inhale. And bring your arms down to the floor, straighten your legs, chest to thighs. Inhale, fingertips. Pressing your hands into the ground, bend your knees and step or jump to the back of your mat. Lowering down through Plankasana, either to the floor or just above. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feet come fairly close together. Inhale the right leg into the air. Exhale, step all the way forward. Put your back foot down onto the mat at a 45-degree angle. And inhale, both arms up. And exhale, adjust your pose. And come into Virabhadrasana 2. Arms behind you. Inhale them up again. Exhale them behind you. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale them behind you. Good. And as you come down, putting your hands either side of your front foot. Flexing your front foot. Picking it up and taking it to the back of the mat. Lower down through Plankasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale and lift your left leg into the sky. Exhale forwards, putting your left foot in between your hands. Place your back foot onto the mat, 45 degrees. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, bring your arms down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful big full moon mandalas. Placing your hands firmly onto the ground. See if you can flex your left foot. And then bring it to the back of your mat. We're going to lower down through Plankasana. And when we get to the floor, we're going to have a little rest. Putting your hands by your sides. Just let yourself melt into the floor. We're going to inhale and gently lift up our head, shoulders and arms. And exhale, interlace your hands together. Inhale. Exhale, inhale. And exhale, putting your head onto the floor in the other direction. And have a feeling of melting down into the mat. And let all your troubles and worries be taken into the earth and transmuted into positive energy and love. Hands under your shoulders. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, all fours. Inhale, curl onto your toes. Exhale, lift your hips and push them backwards and your heels down into downward facing dog. Inhaling the right leg up into the air. And exhaling, keeping the foot tucked in, and place your knee down onto the floor, iguana pose. Sitting right up, come onto your fingertips, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale. And if you can interlace your fingers behind you, opening the heart, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, lovely, iguana. Pressing the hands down into the floor, release your foot and just bring it to the side into pigeon. Placing your hips back down, keep them straight. Don't topple over to the side. Keep your hips straight. Inhale. Exhale, melt down into the pose. Active pigeon, inhale. And exhale. One more. And then slowly and carefully, grab your hands forwards to support you. And we're going to come to sleeping pigeon. And you can either have your hands crossed in a pillow with your forehead on your hands like this. Or you can have your forearms on the floor. Or you can come all the way down. Whatever you like. Just let everything go. Sleeping pigeon pose. And carefully bringing yourself up. If Hanuman, the splits, is in your practice, you can go into Hanuman now. And if you're a little way from coming into Hanuman, you can support yourself with your fingertips and rock your hips from side to side. Hanuman means monkey. Hanuman pose. Wonderful. Coming out of Hanuman, coming onto your knees and sitting down. Interlacing your hands behind you. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale and come up to full kneel. Inhaling the right arm up. And then reaching behind you and seeing if you can touch your heel and rest on it. And then exhale your left arm into the air. Half camel, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, up. Come all the way back up. Interlace your hands behind you. Inhale. Open the chest. Exhale. Inhale the left arm into the air. And reach behind you. And just see if you can hold on to your heel, your left heel. And then exhale the right arm into the air, opening the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And come all the way up. Coming onto all fours. Inhale, curl under the toes. And exhale, push the heels back down and let your head relax. Downward facing dog, 2 more breaths. Inhaling the left leg into the air. And bending the knee, tucking under the foot and coming into Godasana, iguana pose on the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you feel balanced here, you can interlace your fingers behind you, opening the chest. Inhale. Another deep breath here, very intense pose. And then bringing your hands to the floor, just release your foot to the side. And you'll find yourself in active pigeon. Inhale. Exhale, and let both hips sink to the floor parallel. Exhale, and this actually feels like a relief after iguana pose. Inhale. And coming to sleeping pigeon, sleepy pigeon. Now that's either on to your pillow, on your forearms, or stretching all the way out, head onto the mat. And completely let go, keeping your hips square, not rocking over onto the side, but keeping them very, very parallel. Take a few deep breaths here. And then if Hanuman, monkey pose for splits, is in your practice, or you want to have a little go, just come into Hanuman, and if you're not quite there, like me, then just rock your hips from side to side, supporting yourself with your hands, stretching out your hamstrings. Wonderful. And then come back to kneeling, but this time we're going to put our bottom on our heel and come to active child's pose, forehead on the floor. Coming up to cat, we're going to inhale, curl under the toes. Exhale, let the heels push back. Inhale, come forwards. Almost to plank. Exhale, heels back and down, hips back. Inhale. Exhale, heels back and down. One more, inhale. Exhale, heels back and down. And then looking in between your hands, bend your knees, cross your legs in the air and jump to sitting. Bringing your legs out straight in front of you, pulling out your sit bones. Inhale, lift your arms into the air. Exhale, flat back, come forwards just as much as you're able. Wherever you are is perfect. Inhale. Exhale, floating forwards. Inhale. Exhale, floating forwards. Beautiful. And then just let everything relax. Put your head on your shins. Let your neck relax. Good. And then looking in between your feet, somebody's passing you a rope. Grab it. Use this lovely rope passed by this very supportive friend who's lowering you down onto the floor. Stretching out and utilizing your side abdominals. Ah, lovely. You can now relax onto the floor, making yourself comfortable. And then pick up your right leg. Hold your right foot with your left hand, and you'll find yourself in pigeon. Put your right hand behind your head. Support yourself and raise and lower your left leg. Inhaling and exhaling. And let yourself come back to a reclining position. Let everything go. Lifting up your left leg, holding your left foot with your right hand, and placing your left arm behind your head, and then inhaling and exhaling. You can raise and lower micro movements, your right leg, just working your lower abdominals, and let yourself recline back onto the floor. And now we're going to come into a shoulder stand. We press our hands down into the floor, lifting up both legs. We come to this position. Now this might be enough for you, and this is a very, very therapeutic position. So you might just want to stay here. If you'd like to go into shoulder stand, press your hands into the floor, lift up your bottom, and point your toes to the ceiling. And then you might want to support your back with your hands. Take some long, slow, deep breaths here. And then carefully, with straight legs, see if you can come to plough and pop your toes onto the floor behind you, curling your toes under, clasping your hands together. This is the most restorative pose in yoga, plough. And then uncurl your toes, and that stretches your legs even further. Inhale. Keeping your legs straight. And then let your knees come to your ears. Lift your arms up and see if you can hold your feet. You're curled up like a little ball. And then carefully and slowly let yourself come all the way down to your Shavasana. Now, if you need a blanket, it's really, really nice to wrap yourself up in a blanket for your Shavasana, so that as your body temperature drops, you don't get cold. And we're just going to do a small chakra meditation. So let your palms face upwards, and that opens your shoulders. Let out a deep sigh. If any thoughts pop into your mind, just make a note of them, let them pass on. And know that this is your time on your mat where you don't have to respond to anything in the outside world. You just have to respond to yourself. Start to hold your focus on your tailbone. Imagine a bright red ball here. Imagine as you breathe in, you're breathing red air into your tailbone. And this beautiful tennis ball-sized red ball is getting brighter and brighter. This is Muladhara chakra. Moving up your spine, just below your tummy button, imagine an orange ball as you breathe in. Bring orange light into your chakra. Inhale. And exhale. This is Swadhisthana chakra. And each time you breathe in, it gets brighter and brighter orange. Moving up to just above our tummy button, Manipura chakra. We imagine a bright yellow ball here. Inhale yellow light. Exhale any tension. Manipura chakra, bright yellow, inhale. Every time you inhale, the ball gets brighter and brighter. And moving up to our chest, we imagine a bright green ball here, green, like fresh cut grass. Inhale. And exhale. This tennis ball sized sphere is right in the center of our physical chest. Inhale. Anahata chakra is bright green. And now moving to our Adam's apple, our throat chakra, the Shuddha, we inhale and exhale. Breathing in bright blue light. And this is bright blue, azure blue. Breathing in and holding our focus on our Adam's apple. And now moving up to our brow chakra, Ajna chakra, we imagine indigo here. Breathing in bright indigo light. And breathing out any tension. And every time you breathe in, this indigo ball gets brighter and brighter. And finally we reach our crown chakra, Sahasrara. And we imagine a violet ball here. We breathe in beautiful violet light. And exhale any tension. Every time we breathe in, imagine violet light entering the crown of your head and filling up this beautiful sphere that is balanced right on the top of your head. And I want you to stay relaxed in Shavasana for as long as you like. And eventually, when you'd like to come up, you just roll onto your right side and come up to your comfortable seated position. And just like we do in class, we're going to sound 3 ohms together after the singing bowl chimes. Inhaling. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. I hope that you found that relaxing and enjoyable. And don't forget, you can use your mala. I've used this mala so much the toggles have come off the end, but you can sound an om on each bead, and you can just hold each bead. Om. Next bead. Om. Next beat. Om. And you can continue all the way around until you've made 108 ohms. And then you will feel completely different to how you did when you started. So, I hope you're all okay and sending you lots of love. See you next time.